Merry Christmas, all my crafty friends. My project is all about snowflakes today. I'll be decoupaging some beautiful rice paper to make a stunning Christmas ornament for your tree. I'll also be using some glitter paste to embellish the snow and make one giant snowflake on the back. This is a super simple DIY, so if you're ready, let's make a mess. I'm painting the back of the ornament using a beautiful green paint called Mist, and it's by Mud Paint. This paint has wonderful coverage and has a slight texture to it. I just love this color. This paint line and most of the products I'll be using today are available at decoupagenapkins.com, and I'm going to tell you all about them in just a little bit. They have quickly become my favorite place to purchase my supplies. I'm painting the front in a vintage white. I gave front and back 2 coats of paint and let them dry for about 30 minutes. This rice paper is so darn cute. It has a bunch of winter Christmas scenes on it. I chose the one with 2 kids riding a vintage bike. And this rice paper is available at decoupagenapkins.com. I'm removing the image that I want to use, and with a water brush I'm removing some of the white paper around the image. I'm tearing it because a torn edge is easier to blend when decoupaging rather than a cut edge, and the water makes it easier to tear. If you don't have a water brush, you can just use a paintbrush and water, but the water brush is just so darn convenient. I'm going to be using Polyvine Decorator's Varnish for my decoupage glue. This works so much better than Mod Podge. Since my base ornament has a slight dome, I'm tearing the image in a few places so it'll lay flat on the dome. I'm painting on the varnish, then laying my picture down. I'm brushing it flat using the varnish. The Polyvine doesn't leave those thick brush strokes like the Mod Podge does, so your image lays nice and flat. And this wonderful product is available at decoupagenapkins.com. Decoupagenapkins.com has such a great selection of rice papers as well as napkins that you can purchase one at a time. Rub-on transfers, molds, modeling clay, stencils, stamps, scrapbook paper, and much more. Over 6,500 products. And carry 3 new lines of paint: Dixie Belle Chalk Mineral Paint, Clay Mud Paint, as well as Pentart in a wide range of colors. They are wonderful to work with and send out their orders fast. They offer several automatic discounts when checking out on orders over $50, $75, and $125. Subscribe to the newsletter by entering your email address and you'll receive 10% off your next order. Make sure you check them out. I'll leave you a link in my description box below. I let that dry for about 30 minutes and now I'm going to glue the front and back pieces together. And then I added some of the green paint over the seam and over onto a portion of the front. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. It's fun to see what cities and countries you are all watching from. I'm filming from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. I'm going to give the entire ornament a coat of Polyvine Decorator's Varnish. This product is very impressive and I've been using it quite a lot. This formula is somewhat heat and water resistant. There are several formulas and some are highly heat and water resistant. Polyvine is also UV resistant, so you can feel free to put your creations in sunlight without fear of fading. I'm going to make an edging for around the image using a silicone mold and some Delight clay. This is one of my favorite clays. It's soft, light, and easy to work with. It also remains slightly flexible once dry. I'm pushing it into the mold and then cutting off the excess with my palette knife. And I'll let that dry overnight. This amazing clay is available through decoupagenapkins.com. I'm going to make a bunch of little snowflakes to add all over the ornament. This mold is very shallow and is a little hard to use clay. I'm using cream paste, which you spread on and then scrape off the excess. It will need to dry overnight. DecoupageNapkins.com makes a product similar to this, but actually much better. It's called Texture Paste Opaque Matte. You'll put it on in the same manner, but your results are much nicer. I'm using an alcohol wipe to remove the excess product that is on the mold after drying overnight. All the products and tools I use and recommend in my videos have been tested by me. I won't suggest something that I haven't used myself. Each product will be listed in my description box below and will have a blue link to make it easy for you to find. Any of the links I provide are safe for you to click on. Now for a little sparkly fun. I'm using Pentart glitter paste in Rainbow. I'm painting a little bit on a sponge and then dabbing it on the snowflakes to make them shimmer. This is a really fun product and can be used in many ways. I'm going to show you a couple of them today. And you can find this glittery product at DecoupageNapkins.com. And it's available in several different colors. I'm going to paint the leaves on the clay trim I made an iridescent green and the flower at the bottom red. Then I'll give it a coat of Polyvine Decorator's varnish to seal it and get it ready for antiquing. I'll let that dry for 30 minutes. If you're enjoying this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. And why not share this with a friend? Thanks for doing that. I mixed a dark brown paint with water to make it really runny. I'm brushing it on and then wiping it off right away. The antiquing will wipe off the surface and stay in all the cracks and crevices to show all the details in the mold. And I'll let that dry for another 30 minutes and then give it a coat of varnish. I'm gluing the little silver top back on the ornament, and now I'm going to glue the trim and all my snowflakes. I'm starting center bottom with the red flower. The clay may seem a little stiff at this point, but the minute you put the hot glue on, it becomes flexible. Because of the heat and moisture from the glue, you can bend it a little bit. I'm going to cover the seam with the trim. Now I'm adding the snowflakes. I'm using them to cover the silver topper. I have more Christmas videos coming up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of them. I clustered them on top a little bit, then brought some down on the sides. I'm going to use the snowflake in the middle of this stencil ornament. I taped off the area I don't want my medium to go. I also put a tiny dot of painter's tape in the center of the ornament so I could line up the center of the snowflake. Most important, I sprayed the back of the stencil with a repositionable spray adhesive. This way nothing will bleed under the stencil. I have a video on how to use a stencil correctly. I'll leave you a link in my description box below. You'll be able to find the spray adhesive along with some awesome stencils at DecoupageNapkins.com. I'm using the glitter paste to create a large snowflake. This technique can be used for all types of crafts, not just Christmas ornaments. Once I put the paste on, I'm removing my stencil right away. Make sure you wash your stencil immediately so it doesn't get ruined. I'm using some metallic wax rub on the trim. This is such a nice wax rub. It's soft and creamy and very nice to work with. I'm using the color White Pearl. It adds a beautiful iridescent sheen. You can find this product in many different colors at decoupagenapkins.com. Now we need a little more snow on this ornament. I'm using a product called Snow Tax. When it dries, it looks just like snow. I'm using my palette knife to add it around the bottom of the ornament on the front and between the trim and the ornament on the back. And I'm putting it on pretty thick. I let the snow text dry overnight, and now I'm adding a little bit of the glitter paste over top of it, so it sparkles like the snowflakes. This is such a neat product. You can brush it, sponge it, and stencil it. I made a matching tassel, and now I'm going to add some beautiful beads and embellishments to it. I have a video on how to make the perfect tassel. I'll leave you a link in my description box below. I made a couple of rolled paper beads to add. I have a video on how to make those as well, and will leave you a link in my description box. I strung the beads on top of the tassel and added a drop of glue on the last bead in the string. I'm putting a piece of thin silver ribbon in the center of my bow dabber tool, then layering 2 different types of silver ribbon. I'll make 2 of these bows, put the tassel in the middle, and then glue them together. I added some tiny silver branches with red berries to the bows. For the top bows, I'm using some gorgeous light green velvet ribbon, the same silver ribbon that I used on the bottom bows, and a small white organza ribbon. I added the same little silver branches and red berries to the top 2 bows. Some of the berries fell off, so I glued them back on the branches. I have this big wooden snowflake that I painted white and added the glitter paste. And I'm going to add it to the center of the top bows. I'm gluing the bows with the tassel to the bottom of the ornament. I used a piece of thin silver ribbon to make a hanger, then glued 1 bow to the front and 1 bow to the back on the top. I put together a playlist of some other tutorials you may enjoy. Click the picture on the right to be taken directly to that playlist. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking my picture in the top right corner so you don't miss any future videos.